Today on Public Eye News, Ironwood schools closed early after fatal downtown fire, and students in Florida continue to protest for gun reform in the wake of last week's school shooting.
Todd Rose will have a look at our weather forecast, and Max Stevens has details on U of M's latest hire. Hi, I'm Anthony Cilia.
And I'm Don Eade. Welcome to Wednesday's edition of Public Eye News. Ironwood schools have closed early due to a fire that broke out earlier this morning that left one dead. Ironwood Public Safety reports that the initial report of the fire came in around 2 a.m. and that the two-story building was completely engulfed in flames. The fire has been kept under control and confined to only one building. Other injuries are still being investigated, and the cause of the fire remains unknown. The NMU Psychology Department is holding a presentation entitled Understanding Self-Injury and Self-Destructive Behaviors in Clinical Populations, Treatment, Conceptualization, and Considerations this Friday at 3 p.m. NMU alumnus Cami Rosetto Juswin looks to address developments in approaching such a touchy subject, as well as provide some practical intervention suggestions. The presentation will be held in Jamrich Room 1322 and is free for the public. For more information, call 906-227-2935.
And Marquette's beloved Phil Nemesto has recently fallen ill and will be unable to go about his usual window washing route. Select Realty has offered to step up and take on Phil's routine for Spread Goodness Day on March 9th. At least 15 employees are expected to help wash Phil's usual windows, and they may even start with an extra day sometime next week, depending on the weather. Andy Goriski of Select Realty says, quote, "We try hard to do great things for our community. We all live here. We all eat here. We all play here. We earn our living here, so we feel very strongly about giving back to everyone in our community, just like Phil does." Phil is currently under care at UP Health System Marquette and does not wish to disclose his medical status at this time. Do you like epic movies? Well, how about dancing with local celebrities? If you answered yes to either of these questions, then you'll be excited to hear that the 6th annual Dancing with Our Stars Marquette County Style has been themed the Epic Movie Edition. With all proceeds benefiting the UP Hospice Foundation, 8 couples will dance their way through various genres such as hip-hop and contemporary to earn the top spot. What competitors will have to do is pick a song from a movie and dance to it as to represent the film in their own way. Among some of the participants is local attorney Erica Payne, along with her partner Chris Wirenga, and the competition will take place over the span of May 23rd and the 24th.
And after being closed off due to hazardous falling ice, the Mackinac Bridge has been reopened. With fluctuating weather the past few days, the ice from the upper levels of the bridge have been melting and falling off. The Mackinac Bridge Authority is continuing to monitor the bridge for any further complications. To receive updates regarding the Mighty Mac's conditions, text Mac Bridge to 67238. Longtime Michigan State Legal Counsel Bob Noto is retiring. This sudden retirement comes amidst criticism of how MSU's legal team handled the issues related to the Larry Nassar scandal. MSU trustee Brian Masalam originally sought Noto's resignation, which takes effect March 5th. Christine Zako, MSU's current Deputy General Counsel, will assume Noto's job on an acting basis. And after this, we'll have your national and international news. Stay tuned.
I've been around the world, but there's one place I keep coming back to. This week on UTR, we head north by Northwest for a general store that's that and a whole lot more. We'll also frequent a finer diner and spend some time staring at the stars. Then we discover an awesome artist and take a ride down a slippery summer slope. This isn't under the radar, you just gotta see.
Thursday at 9:30, Friday at 5, and Saturday night at 10:30.
And welcome back. Students and faculty from South Florida High School walked out of class on Tuesday to protest gun violence. The protesters marched to the campus of Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida, the infamous scene of last week's attack. Other schools in the area have been doing similar demonstrations this past week, with the most noteworthy coming from West Boca Raton Community High School, where hundreds of students and faculty marched and chanted all the way to Stoneman Douglas's front steps, almost 10 miles away. George Clooney and his wife Amal have stated that they are going to donate $500,000 to the March for Our Lives Foundation in support of gun control. And President Trump will host students and teachers from towns impacted by gun violence for what it's calling listening sessions at the White House today. It's part of the efforts the Trump administration says is taking in order to make schools safe again. Mola Lengi has more details from the White House.
Students and teachers from communities impacted by school shootings will visit the White House today to talk with President Trump about school safety.
We're going to come up with solutions. It's been many, many years and there have been no solutions. We're going to come up with solutions.
This is the first of 3 White House listening sessions designed to address gun violence. Tuesday, President Trump announced he's taking steps to ban bump stocks, the accessories that allow guns to fire like automatic weapons.
I signed a memorandum directing the Attorney General to propose regulations to ban all devices that turn legal weapons into machine guns.
And he tweeted, "We must now focus on strengthening background checks." Today's meeting with students is important because, perhaps for the first time, it's students who are taking the lead in calling for changes to the nation's gun laws. Hundreds of D.C. area students walked out of their schools Wednesday morning, heading to Capitol Hill to call on Congress to pass new laws. They say they're following the lead of the Parkland students.
People like Emma Gonzalez speaking afterwards just inspired me to take this action. And this is not just going to be a one-time thing. This is going to be sustained action. We're going to make sure that something finally happens in this country.
A student-led march on Washington is planned for March 24th. Mola Lengi, CBS News, the White House.
A storm of mixed snow and freezing rain hit the Midwest and Great Plains area over the span of 2 days. The storm caused fatal crashes in 3 states. One accident in Nebraska left 4 people dead. Flood warnings were in effect for Michigan, Illinois, and Indiana. The storm reached Texas, where the National Weather Service officials stated that 3 tornadoes touched down. Two of the tornadoes struck Joshua, Texas, where 2 mobile homes were destroyed and multiple other homes were damaged. The 3 tornadoes' winds reached up to 85 miles an hour. The storm added on to Minnesota's whopping 400 crashes and 250 spinouts this winter season. Team USA bounced back at the Winter Olympics. American athletes won medals on skates and on the skis. Ben Tracy is in Pyeongchang with the team's turnaround.
She just needs to go really big.
The U.S. women went huge in the halfpipe.
Wow, tremendous speed coming into the alley-oop.
Britta Sigourney attacked the 22-foot-tall walls in the freestyle ski event, landing all of her tricks for a place on the podium.
And Britta Sigourney is taking home the bronze.
Everyone was skiing so well, and I've never seen an entire field of women skiing be pushed to such a high level in one event, and I think that was honestly the climax of our sport so far.
But the defending Olympic champion, American Maddie Bowman,
Here's where she's had all her trouble. Does she have the right 9? Oh!
crashed on all 3 of her runs, the agony of defeat painfully clear. There was also some heartbreak in the ice dance final for Madison Chalk and Evan Bates.
Oh no.
But the Shib-Sibs, Maya and Alex Shibatani, made the most of their last dance, twirling their way to a bronze medal in what they called the best skate of their lives. Yet nobody could compete with the Canadians. Scott Moyer and Tessa Virtue were perfection, winning gold and becoming the most decorated figure skaters in Olympic history. Of course, Team USA is looking for more gold, and we may see that soon. Lindsey Vonn will be skiing in her best event, the downhill, on Wednesday. Ben Tracy, CBS News, Pyeongchang, South Korea.
And after the break, we'll be back with your weather and sports. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jennifer Delin, the host of Ask the Doctors. Please join me and many of my colleagues this season for Ask the Doctors. All year long, we will explore important medical topics, talk about new treatments, and most importantly, answer your questions with doctors live in our studio. So join us this Thursday for Ask the Doctors right here on Public TV 13.
Ask the doctors your questions about the heart and arteries live Thursday night at 8 on Public TV 13.
And welcome back to Public Eye News. I'm Todd Rose here to take a look at your weather. Looking behind me, we got some blue skies, some clouds up there, but the sun is shining and it does feel warmer than the 16 degrees we do have. So looking at our current conditions, as I said, we do have a current temperature of 16 degrees, mostly cloudy skies, but those are parting a little bit, as you saw in that frame behind me. And winds west-northwest 6 miles an hour with our barometric pressure 30.46 inches and rising. Moving on to tonight, we'll be looking at partly cloudy skies with a low of 9 degrees and winds around 5 miles an hour west-southwest. And moving into tomorrow, we're going to see mostly cloudy skies again, a high of 31 and winds south-southeast at 8 miles an hour. Taking a look around the UP, starting over in Sault Ste. Marie, we got 25 degrees and mostly cloudy, and we're also 25 degrees here in Manistique, but our friends over there in Manistique are seeing a little bit more sun than over in Sault Ste. Marie. Down here in Escanaba and Menominee, 26 and sunny both of those places. And moving over to the western half of the UP, we got some more sun over here in the two irons. First of all, Iron Mountain at 22 degrees and Ironwood at 20. Up in Houghton, we got 20 degrees and mostly cloudy. And back here in Marquette, 16 degrees and mostly cloudy. Looking ahead at your weekend, on Friday, we're going to start off with a high of 35, a low of 19, and some snow in the morning. Saturday, we got some afternoon snow showers, looking at a high of 36, a low of 29. And Sunday, a little bit more nasty weather coming in with some rain and snow in the morning with a high of 36 and a low of 19. Well, Max, Sunday might be a little nasty for us, but here you got some not so nasty news about Michigan hiring a new coach.
We'll see how it plays out for him this coming season, Todd. Jim Harbaugh and the Michigan Wolverines have added former University of Florida football head coach Jim McElwain to their staff as the wide receivers coach. At Florida, McElwain led the Gators to the SEC championship game in each of his first two seasons, 2015 and 2016, but the Gators lost both times to Alabama. Last October, after an embarrassing 42-7 loss against rival Georgia, the team's third straight, McElwain was fired and his contract was bought out for $7.5 million. McElwain will look to work with the Wolverines' young core of wideouts to improve a passing attack that struggled throughout U of M's 8-5 season. The Miami Dolphins announced yesterday that they have elected to use their non-exclusive franchise tag on wide receiver Jarvis Landry. The expected value of the tag is about $16.2 million, which will be quite the raise for Landry, who was paid $894,000 last season. The 25-year-old Landry led the NFL in receptions last season with 112, racking up 987 yards and 9 touchdowns. The tag will hold Landry, a 3-time Pro Bowler, on the roster as the franchise continues to attempt to work out a long-term deal with the young receiver. And last night, the second-ranked Michigan State Spartans clinched at least a share of the Big Ten title with an 81-61 victory over Illinois in the Breslin Center. The win was the 11th straight for the Spartans, who have the opportunity to claim the Big Ten title outright this Sunday when they head to Madison to take on the Badgers. Standout sophomore Miles Bridges said after the game that he came back to chase championships. Now, he has one, but Bridges told the Breslin Center crowd after the game, quote, "We aren't done yet." Bridges led the team with 19 points. Joshua Langford added 16, Cassius Winston scored 12, and Jaren Jackson Jr. added 8 points to go along with 5 blocks for the Spartans. A win for the Spartans this Sunday would likely greatly improve their NCAA tournament seeding, so expect the Spartans to bring their absolute best to the Kohl Center. Well, Anthony, Jarvis Landry was setting fire to NFL defenses last year, and I hear you have something about fire for us.
Oh, I sure do for you. A man from Ferndale had an interesting remedy for getting rid of skunks in his crawl space: smoke bombs. The Metro Detroit man set off the smoke bomb underneath the rental house, which sparked a fire that eventually spread throughout the entire home. The Ferndale Fire Department stated that the house was a total loss and that there were no skunk carcasses found in the aftermath. What are the odds of that? And with that, that's all the time that we have for you. Come back tomorrow, and we'll be sure to give you some news.
The preceding program was produced in studios located in the Edgar L. Hardin Learning Resources Center by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television.